Dodder, Dodder, a leafless parasitic vine, thread-like and hungry. Plants can be leafless for several reasons. In the case of leafless parasitic plants, it's because they don't perform photosynthesis, the process that turns sunlight into the chemical energy needed for growth and development. Dodder, often called the devil's guts, earns its name from its chaotic, tangled vines that look like the imagined entrails of Satan. The entrails represent the gut, the inward parts, the subconscious mind. If the heart is the conscious mind, the guts are the subconscious. When the teachings of Yah truly take root in someone, they don't just stay in the heart. They reach the gut, the subconscious, so deeply that a person walks in the spirit without even thinking about it. Now consider a person whose subconscious is chaotic, like this parasitic vine. They overrun, dominate, and strangle others emotionally. Yet they may not be all bad, just like Dodder, which still has medicinal uses, supporting the kidneys, liver, bones, even easing depression. You know this person. They're well-liked and even seem healing, but that's because they need others. They feed off of them. Their warmth isn't self-made, it's borrowed energy. They can't process the light for themselves. They are reprobates, so they steal the benefits of the light from others who can process it. They are like Dodder, making them the perfect metaphor for a sickness quietly spreading through our culture. And recently, I came across an article about this new trend that is apparently the incestuous answer to the trad wife trend. They are referred to as stay-at-home sons or hubsons in the article. I read most of the article and then I spent an hour throwing up in my mouth. I've talked about this sick dynamic before. Moms who make their sons their husbands. It's emotional incest. It's enmeshment. It's gross. And it is worth repeating that these moms aren't always single moms. And if I remember correctly, and no, I'm not reading that article again, I absolutely refuse. But if I remember correctly, there were 2 or 3 mother-sons mentioned in the article, and all the mothers are married. So married moms are doing this too. The dads, it seems, are passive in this case, possibly emotionally absent, though physically present. The mom who is like this likely has severe boundary issues that she picked up in childhood along with unmet needs of her own, either in childhood or in her marriage or other adult relationships. This can also stem from unhealthy patriarchal systems that some women internalize, the type that teach them that males are to be worshipped and she is to be trodden underfoot. And I call her the common Dodder because, for one, it's a play on words with this plant I am using as the metaphor, but also because this is a common Dodder these days. And I know it is because the adult male son she produces and sends out into the world tends to become a covert narcissist, and covert narcissists are all too common. They create podcasts and sit on their improperly washed rectums, talking out of their equally filthy mouths about how much women suck. And they think women suck because they resent their mom. They resent her for sucking the soul out of their bodies, for imposing her will upon him, for making him responsible for her emotions, for teaching him that love is burdensome, for making him a pseudo-husband, for ruining his chances of ever becoming a real man, for castrating him and putting his testicles in a jar that she sleeps next to and worships every night. To him, every woman is mom. Mom made him a god, so he can't quite smite her, because how could you smite the one who made you a deity? That deserves some kind of honor, he thinks. So the solution is to smite the women who dare try to love him, or to get women or attempt to get with women who are way out of his league, and smite her for daring not to recognize his majesty. And Mom, aka Dodder, the devil's guts, she can't see her idol's wickedness. Everything he does is a righteous act in her eyes, but little does she know her future. You see, the movie Psycho by Alfred Hitchcock is loosely based on the real-life crimes of Ed Gein. The Ed Gein character in the movie is named Norman Bates, and Norman has a domineering, parasitic, common daughter for a mother. Norman dresses up as his mom during his crimes. He has a split personality, with the other personality being the voice of his domineering mother lingering in his head. His mother, it turns out, has been dead this whole time. Dead, but her skeletal remains are in Norman's house, dressed up as if she is still alive. And you see, sis, you think it's cute or satisfying or whatever to make your son a fill-in husband or your personal deity, but what you don't realize is that you're creating a monster who may bow down to you for now, but a monster who will never let you rest. You'll be dead and gone, but your bones, that is, your soul, will never find rest. Not just because your deranged son will refuse to bury them, but because the blood of every woman your son smote in your honor will cry out for justice, and the Most High will hear. The true God, who said for a man to leave his mother and father and cleave to his wife, not his mother, will hear. You, sis, have blood on your hands. I suggest you go wash up, because you've got more than blood under those nails. You've got legacy, a bad one. And when that legacy starts calling you from the basement, when your son's bitterness, brokenness, and bondage start echoing your own voice, remember this: you didn't raise a man. You sucked the soul out of your son and filled him up with your demons. You thought it was devotion, but it was dependency. When your womb births life, but you never cut the cord, that's not love. It's a trap called the devil's guts.